Right now, everything, and I've talked to both sides about this. My understanding is that when it comes to the Matchroom and Boots Ennis, they're good to go. Eddie has been saying that even, for the last month, probably since Boots' last fight. Discussions between Matchroom and Golden Boy, I don't think they have like a signed contract necessarily, but they are definitely on the same page. They understand the parameters, how they're going to do it, what they're going to do, where they're going to do it, all that business. And of course, DAZN, which is the broadcaster for both Golden Boy and for Matchroom, has heavily involved. And I think they've laid out what their perspective is. The issue in making the match is strictly down between Eric Gomez and Oscar De La Hoya from Golden Boy and Rick Meridian, who is the manager for Vergil Ortiz. And they're fighting a bloody war in the boardroom over the money for that fight. And if they can't get it worked out, the fight's not going to happen. And Rick has taken a scorched earth attitude about it. And Oscar and Eric are not going to lay down about it. And they're bickering back and forth like cats and dogs. And hopefully that's just the sort of making of the sausage, and they'll get their shit together and get it done. But I know both of them. I know Eric and Oscar and Rick really well. And they're good at what they do, but they're very, very stubborn people as well. And so sometimes that gets in the way of actually getting a deal done.
All right, so you heard Dan Rafael say what's holding up Golden Boy and Matchroom, making Vergil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis. According to him, it is Vergil Ortiz and his manager is trying to get more money from Golden Boy. They don't want to take the fight. Eddie has been honest. It sounds like this whole time the money is right with him, Jaron, and DAZN. Apparently, the split is right between all of them, Jaron, DAZN, Matchroom, and then include Golden Boy. It's just that Rick Merritt and Vergil Ortiz don't want to fight, and Rick Merritt got a long history for not making fights because he don't have the best fighters at his disposal, and that's just word to the mother, right? Shout out to my New York ninjas. We don't say that. And they say it. They used to say it when they had real slang. Now they call it Tim's Butters, like they from Atlanta or something, man. But yeah, on a serious note, so yeah, he had the whole thing with Jose Ramirez and all that type of stuff. So yeah, that's his job to get top dollar for his fighters. But it's coming off as, they don't want to fight. That long post I read, you had people still defending it. People come in just to make a comment, don't watch the video. Like I said, I believe that, people should have to stay for 2 minutes of the video to be able to comment. That's been my stance about YouTube. Too many times people come and comment and say, oh, and then listen to the video. Like, when you get to the point where you're too lazy to listen and comprehend, then you got a problem. Most people are too lazy to read. You got people, you don't need to know how to read. But, looking at it and looking at, Vergil, they've gone out their way to not fight particular fighters his whole career. They going out their way to say no to Bud. They say yes to Jaron Ennis and all that type of stuff, but, y'all was at two different weight classes. But, at the end of the day, if he got to get top dollar, he got to get top dollar. If he don't want to fight, he don't want to fight. So, I was just reading that how Golden Boy had put Williams Zepeda on the shelf. I was reading that. And I'm just thinking like, well, maybe Golden Boy can put Vergil on the shelf and starve him out. And they do that. They do that. Not Golden Boy in particular, but I seen it done in boxing with, Vergil. With Nicholas Walters, with Williams Zepeda right now, with Golden Boy here on the shelf, where, certain fighters don't do what guys say want them to do, right now, a la rumors about Errol Spence being done like that, then they'll shelf you. They'll shelf you. But if you become big enough, no Diddy, they got to work with you. So, all in good work, right? All in good faith. If you got the name, but like I said, they don't want to fight. And I got a question to ask. Should we want to see a fight if a particular fighter don't want to fight? Really, if they, say like Rolly, I want nothing to do with that, Haney. Do we legit want to see these people fight? You know, that's the question. Do you legit want to see these people fight? No. You know, sometimes a hurt snake is a dangerous snake, or, you know, you more aware or scary, you a little bit more aware and pensive and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? I get that. But yeah, if you don't want to fight, you don't want to fight. And right now, it just comes off that Vergil Ortiz don't want to fight. But he don't want to fight nobody. He want to hold all these secondary and other titles, start an OnlyFans, but he don't want to get in the mix. You know, and a lot of these fighters want to wait today for, you know, late 30s, you know, mid 30s to get in the mix, where you can't even enjoy the prosperity of the fruits of your labor. Yeah, you supposed to be fighting 3, 4, 5, 6 times a year. Then when you get to that point, you can fight two times a year, 3 if you like. Then when you put that leg work in, you know, you can make it happen. But for the most part, most of these guys, you know, they just want to string it out in the beginning. At the end, you stretch it out. That's just the God honest truth. At the end of your career, you stretch it out. That's just what it is. At the end of your career, you want to stretch it out as long as possible. You want to, you know, stretch that out. But while you're young, you got to get the most. You got to put wins on top of wins, experience on top of experience. You know, that's what you want to do. But a lot of these dudes, you know, they want to, you know, nickel and dime it. Don't want to. And then when you're not fighting enough, even if you ain't fighting nobody, to keep it real, just a repetition make you better. Sparring, it helps get you better. But when you having a fat camp and all that stuff, you know, you're really not working on what you need to work on. Fighting is what keeps you sharp. You know, fighting is what keeps you sharp. I think people tend to forget that getting in a fight makes you sharp. You know, but a lot of these guys don't want to stay sharp. They don't want to stay active. They think, yo, the less I fight, the better I'll be. It don't work that way. The more you fight, the sharper you will be. The more you will. It's like having a car. You just sit it in the winter and you never start it up. It's gonna have a problem starting up. You're gonna have to drain the fluids out. It's gonna have rust in the fluids and all of that shit. You gotta keep it active. You gotta keep it active. But they gotta get their money right regardless. You know, if they ask for too much, then don't fight. Don't fight. But, you know, everything's coming off. They looking real bad in this negotiation. And they can say, oh, you know, Vergil, it's the biggest fight in boxing. It's not the biggest fight in boxing. You know, let's just keep it a bean. It's not the biggest fight in boxing. It's one of the top fights, must-see fights. But as far as stature, most people don't even know who Vergil Ortiz is. Most people don't know who Jaron Ennis is. His name is getting out there because he hitched his trailer to Buzz wagon, or Buzz F-150, or Toyota Tundra, or Dodge Ram truck. You know what I'm saying? He hitched his wagon, and that's what you're supposed to do. Believe it or not, that's what you're supposed to do. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. So, I mean, it's no surprise to me. It's no shock. You know, they want to be difficult looking, who the manager is and all this type of stuff. Come with the game. But we already know, you know, when Jaron Ennis, you know, ran down on him, got in the ring, you can see his energy was off. He's like, I don't really want to do this. He was a little shook. He was copping pleas. Ain't no time to cop pleas. It ain't no he say, she say. What it do now? What up, though, now? And it went to, come on. The energy was off. The daddy out there, every time that they get mention to fight a threat, the daddy say they ain't talk to us, they get to hollering and screaming and putting on a fucking minstrel show. Every time. Oh, Vergil takes care of his whole tell them niggas to get a job then. The fuck? That's how niggas go broke. Tell your family to get a job. You know? You shouldn't put all your money in one spot. Yeah, his family depends on Vergil, and like, okay, cool, that's understandable. Hey, tell him to get a job. Because if Vergil couldn't provide for everybody, what would they do? What would they do? And Rick Merrigan can be like, well, you know, he's going to be the face of boxing. And man, fuck out of here. You ain't never managed the face of boxing that I know of. You know? Never. Never. But my opinion only, but we'll see what happens. So it's about a money fight between them. It's a money fight between Vergil Ortiz's manager Rick Merrigan and Golden Boy. Golden Boy said whatever the zone gave was fair money. They said, hey man, we need a little bit of extra. We need some extras. So, I mean, it is what it is. But hey man, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance. Get notifications. We go live with our video. Follow me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.